What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the NASCAR Truck Series race on Draftkings. Wasn't able to make videos last week for Bristol. Sorry about that. Was a little bit under the weather, but we're back now, making videos. There will be no live streams this week for all series. I will be out of town, so I will not be able to make a live stream at all. So this is what you got. This race is Friday night, Las Vegas Truck Series race. We're gonna start out with Sheldon Creed. He starts ninth. Look, I mean, there's the two favorites in the Truck Series for the rest of the year, Creed and Nemechek. I mean, like, been the two best all year, and I don't see that stopping, especially with Sheldon Creed dominating the first three races of the playoffs. He dominated all three of them. Obviously didn't get to win at Bristol, but still had a great run. So these are the two guys you got to look out for dominators. I prefer Nemechek. He's just been a better guy in the intermediates all year long. Seen him lead a ton of laps. This is where he's succeeded. Creed's been a little bit better at the shorter tracks, where Nemechek's been better at the bigger 1.5 mile tracks. So really like John Hunter here. This is probably where I'm going to go to start, but I also like Creed. These are going to be the two guys to pay attention to for dominators. If you're trying to get a little bit different, I think Zane Smith could lead, but still not as confident in that as I am with some of the other drivers. Grant Enfinger's expensive. He's in the number 9 truck this week, not the 98 for Thorsport. He's with the Cody Rohrbach team, so he can get a top 10 out of it, but that's still, I don't think, a spot where I just really want to get to. Moving on to Austin Hill. Probably not going to want to go there. Starting 10th, we're probably going to need him to lead some laps for you, and I just, that's just not really where I see working out for him. I would say Zane Smith's probably more likely to lead. Todd Gilliland starts 8th, $9,600, not in the playoffs anymore. I don't really see him getting up front and leading. This is not the type of track where I see him being a real dominator in this race. Moving on to Tyler Ankrum, he's starting 16th. He's expensive, but he does offer you some place differential, so I understand you can play him, but I still don't feel like that's really a spot I want to get to. When you get Ben Rhodes starting 7th, I think it's kind of just right around where he's starting the whole race, so probably not going to be a spot where I really want to get to a lot of Ben Rhodes. Brett Moffatt's in the 25 truck that we've seen Josh Berry drive a lot this year. I think he could compete for a top 10. That's kind of what Berry's done. I don't really know how I feel about the Moffatt versus Berry as a driver thing. I don't think we've ever really seen Moffatt in a truck series in equipment like this. I think they're probably pretty similar drivers, but I don't know. I don't think you need to go there. I don't mind it, but it's probably not. I wish he was like 500, 600 cheaper. But still, Brett Moffatt is okay. Johnny Sauter starting 11th. We haven't seen it from him all year. I don't think we're all of a sudden going to see it at Las Vegas this week, so probably not going to go there. Matt Crafton starting 6th. He starts far enough back where I'm actually kind of interested in him. If he finishes top 3, which is definitely he's very capable of, that can definitely work out. So I don't mind getting Matt Crafton at all. I think this is a spot that no one's really going to play him. An interesting GBP play. Chandler Smith starts 2nd. He's been faster at the shorter tracks all year. That's kind of where we see him really lead laps. I think he'll run well, maybe get a top 5, but I don't really see him being a dominator to really work out. I expect John Hunter and Nemechek to grab out to that early lead. I don't really think Chandler Smith will, so I'm not going to go there. Kind of the same thing as Stuart Friesen. I think he'll ride around there. He's just not starting 6th like Crafton. If he was starting 6th, 7th, 8th, be a little bit more interested, but still probably not going to go there. All right, then we start to get into some of these place differential guys. We have Dylan Lupton. Well, we still got to talk about Hosvar, actually. But Dylan Lupton's $8,300. You can go there if you want, but I don't know. He's in the Rayum Brothers truck, the 33 truck. It's really not that good of equipment. I think he's probably a little bit too overpriced. I don't think Dylan Lupton's any sort of special driver or anything, so I think there's just a lot of other spots I'd probably rather go to. Carson Hosvar could run top 5 again. This guy's the hardest one to predict out of pretty much all the top drivers, in my opinion. I just think, we could totally see him run really well and compete for a win, or we could see him finish 15th. So he's a tournament play if you want to get there. I know I'd probably rather pay up. If you're playing for a play kind of like that, starting up higher, that's not going to be a ton of ownership. I'd probably rather go to Crafton, but I can understand wanting to get Hosvar. Derek Kraus starts 12th. I think he's priced a little bit too high. I just kind of feel like he runs around there all day, maybe moves up a few spots, so probably not going to want to go there. Spencer Davis, I'm not interested in at all. That truck is not good enough to run for $7,900. Tanner Gray, I like. Starting 29th, $7,700, should compete for a top 15. That's a truck worthy of that price tag. I really like that. This is going to be a spot I want to get to. Same thing with Drew Dauer. He's starting 18th. We've seen him wreck a lot this year in his 51 truck, so I don't really expect him to be back at KBM next year. But, it's still a KBM truck. He's still in a 51 truck for Kyle Busch Motorsports. This is the best, second best truck in the entire field. So, I mean, starting 18th, if he gets top 10, that's probably going to be good enough for you, so I really like that. Christian Eckes starts 15th. He could compete for a top 5, honestly. Eckes is an underrated driver, in my opinion. In 98 truck, which is a good truck, at only $7,300, starting 15th. I'll take that all day. I mean, if he gets you top 10, which honestly is what he should run, or he should compete for at least, that's going to be fine. I mean, it may not win you a tournament, but it should be good enough to, at least make you cash. And I think he has upside to win you a tournament, so I like Eckes here. Jack Woods starting 20th for GMS in the 24 truck. We've seen him have runs where he's running top 15. We've also seen him be terrible, but I think he's a little bit better at these mile and a half, so I don't mind Jack Wood at all. I think he's a good tournament play. But the guy I really like is Chris Hacker. This is his second truck start ever. He ran in the 34 truck. I forgot which race that was. Was it Darlington, maybe? I don't know. It was a race more recently that he ran, and he had issues at the very beginning, and he went like 10 laps down to start the race. And I mean, it was like mechanical issues because that's what happens. But he was running like top 15 speed the rest of that race. He was running really well. Now he's in a much better car. He's in a niche truck. I think this is a spot where Chris Hacker could compete for a top 15. And that's something you're not seeing a lot at $7,000, starting 27th. So I really like him. This is going to be a guy that I want to get into all my lineups. I really want to play him. Hayley Deegan hasn't been good the mile and a half this year. This really hasn't been the spot I want to go to her, but I do think it's an interesting tournament play. She has definitely, as of late, been running a lot better. I know she had her first DNF at Bristol last week, but she was running well when that happened. So, obviously it's Bristol, not versus Vegas, so I don't mind it. But I think I'd rather just play Chris Hacker, honestly. Chase Purdy, I think I might rather. I don't know. Chase Purdy's trash. He's really not good, man. But it's a similar play to Deegan. You can make your decision there. Ryan Truex starts 14th. I don't really want to go there. He's too expensive. I mean, he was priced down here a few weeks. Was that last week or the week before? If he was starting 14th there, yeah, that's fine, but not at 6,600. Corey Roper starts 21st at 6,500. That truck's just not good enough. Tate Fulham starting 33rd at 6,300. I think that's fine. Like, he can compete for a top 20. His average finish at Vegas is 18.33. That's, pretty good. So, it's still Tate Fulham. We know the risk with him is that he's going to wreck because he just wrecks a lot. But the upside's still there, so I don't mind that at all. I don't mind Tyler Hill either. He's starting 24th. The Hill Motorsports truck, like I say, whenever I talk about Timmy Hill, obviously it's Tyler Hill, but, they're similar. Is that, the truck that Timmy Hill drives is much better in comparison to the other trucks around him versus the Xfinity and the Cup Series. But this is Tyler Hill. Obviously, I expect Timmy Hill to run a little bit better, but Tyler Hill should still run fine. I don't mind it. Danny Bones starting 28th, can move up a few spots. That could work out. Austin Wayne Self starts 13th at $5,800. It's the same play as always. He can hang around there, but if he drops a few spots, I don't think it's going to be worth it. I don't think you need to go there this week. I'd rather just pay a few $100s more for like Fulham and Tyler Hill, or maybe even Danny Bone, if I'm being completely honest. Brett Holmes starts 35th. Brett Holmes kind of sucks. Every time he's in this truck, he does not do good, and Sam Mayer does, so I'm not going there. Spencer Boyd starts 31st. He's in a 20, same thing always, Spencer Boyd. I just don't think he's good enough to really do anything for you. I'd much rather play Chris Wright. I don't feel really good about Chris Wright. I don't feel good about either of these two. Yeah, I don't really want to play either of them. Keith McGee's in the 49 for CMI this week, and Draftkings didn't list a starting spot, but I'm assuming it's dead last, which is like 37th, I think. Yeah, so he's starting 37th. I don't want to play that. CJ McLaughlin's another Raymond Brothers truck starting 30th. Not really interested. Same thing with Howie DiStefano and Jennifer Jo Cobb. So lowest I'm going is, I guess, Austin Wayne Self, but I'm really just Tyler Hill and Danny Bone are probably really the lowest I'd like to go. But I don't mind either way. Just try to focus on Creed and Nemechek or Nemechek. If you can fit both in, great. I don't really think that's possible to make a good lineup fitting both in, but if you can, I would try to do that. So that's what I'm thinking about this race. Thank you guys for checking this out. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and good luck.